literally went everywhere. Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. Every day, all around the world, trans people are finding it very hard to transition, to cope with this newfound identity. And I've been there. I have completely been there. I've been in that space where I felt like I don't know how to transition. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. The situation around me just isn't right. So for today, I'm gonna give you guys 10 tips on transitioning. Now, based on my experience, I have been transitioning for 2 years. 2 years is a long time. So I've learned a lot about myself, about my surroundings, and about the best ways in my experience to transition. So starting with the top, tip number 1 is don't come out unless your family and living situation is safe. When thinking about coming out, it is the most important thing to be aware of your surroundings when you tell everyone this new information about yourself. It can be so scary navigating transitioning in this world by yourself. So do yourself a favor and make sure your parents, anyone you're living with, will be okay with the idea that you are transgender. Stay safe and do not put yourself in danger. Step number 2, if you want to medically transition, meaning take hormones, do not use, take, buy black market hormones. Do not do it. It is so awful. You could literally get a blood clot and die. When you go to the doctor to get your hormones for the very first time, they test your blood. They're testing your hormone levels so that the medication that they prescribe you balances right with your body chemistry. There's unlimited possibility of bad things that can happen to you. So please, please do not buy black market hormones. Do not buy black market drugs. That is not the way to get hormones. Find a doctor. If you're under 18, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but unless your legal guardian is going to sign off for you, there is absolutely no way that you're going to get hormones. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait until you turn 18. And that's just the bottom line. I'd rather you be safe than sorry. Number 3, it can be very nerve-wracking going into the whole dating world, especially when you're trans. You don't know what anybody's going to think. You don't know if anyone is going to be okay with the fact that you're transgender. And you know what? That is the way it's supposed to be. You don't know. You don't know if someone's gonna like you if you're trans. You don't know if someone's going to absolutely not want anything to do with you because you're trans. And that is up to that person. You cannot force that on that other person. No matter how ignorant that is, you cannot force that. That is their right to be attracted to and to want to pursue relationships that they want to. That's their tea. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is to be open, honest, and upfront with your trans visibility when it comes to dating. Telling the person that you're going to be dating that you're transgender at the very beginning of the conversation is not really the way to do it. Get to know them a little bit, but tell them that you are trans at an early but comfortable time for you. For example, when I was on Tinder before I found Adrian, in my bio on Tinder, it always said that I was transgender. I never hid that from anyone. That was just upfront for me. That's the way that I wanted to tell everyone without having to go through the whole situation of explaining to them that I'm transgender and having to wait for that opinion. So I'm editing, and I just wanted to add that, like, why wouldn't you want to be with someone who wants to be with you because you're transgender, who loves that part of you? Like, I would never want to hide that from someone. It's a huge part of me. I'm not going to be someone's secret. I want them to be proud that I'm trans. So just wanted to put that in there. Because as soon as someone and I matched, when they read my bio, they knew immediately that I was transgender, and if they wanted to unmatch, they could, and if they wanted to stay, they could. Trans women are killed by disgusting transphobic men that don't want to accept the fact that they were attracted to or have dated or have talked to a transgender woman. So please be safe and always be upfront, open, and honest. Tip number 4, surround yourself with love and positivity, meaning friends, family members, anyone in your life. Make sure that they have your best interest at heart. Make sure that they're rooting for you. Make sure that they accept you for all that you are. You don't want to be surrounded by people who are ignorant, people who don't even try to understand what you're going through. If they're not here for it, you shouldn't be here for them. And that's the honesty. They don't deserve to be in your life. So tip number 5, reach out to the LGBT community. There's so many outlets, there's so many ways to find other trans people, other LGBT people on the internet, in your community, especially if you have an LGBT center, which LA does. No matter what you need, there's always someone that you can talk to, there's always someone that you can vent to, there's always someone that will understand what you're going through. And that is the LGBT community. So if you have the courage to go outside and find these trans people, find these LGBT centers, find a community of people that understand what you're going through, then go for it. It's so helpful, and come on, it's always easier to talk about something if that person has gone through the same thing. Tip number 6, no transition is the same. No person's journey is the same, so stop comparing yourself to other trans people. Most importantly, if you're a trans woman, stop comparing yourself to other trans women. Not all of us want to look like a blow-up doll. Not all of us want to look like a Barbie doll. Not all of us want to look like a perfect woman. That's not what I desire. I personally do not want to change myself physically to a completely different person. I want to keep my uniqueness, just in a different gender. No shade to anyone that undergoes extensive surgery, extensive physical transformation, because that is their journey. Just don't compare yourself to them. You are no worse, you are no better than them, and that's that. You are on your own journey, so stay focused on yourself and how you want to look, how you want to transition. It's all up to you. Tip number 7, mental health is so important. Make sure that you are taking care of your mind. It can literally save your life. Roughly 35% of all trans people attempt suicide. It is so sad that someone hates their situation so much and hates themselves so much that they're willing to take their life. I am so lucky, I'm so blessed to feel confident in myself at this point in my transition. Like I said, it's taken a long time to get to this place, but along the way, if I didn't take care of my mental health, I wouldn't be here today. And that's the honesty. So please take a mental health day off. If you have absolutely no one to talk to, you don't have an LGBT community around you, you have no one to talk to that knows what you're going through or that is willing to accept you, when you're about to go on hormones or in the beginning of going on hormones, talk to a licensed therapist who is going to listen to what you're talking about. Listen to what you're going through. That first month, especially when you're on hormones, your mind's kind of going crazy. Oh my God, I've never talked about this, but I actually cussed out my manager at the time. This was in 2016. I cussed out my manager and got fired because my hormones were going absolutely crazy in my first month of being on hormones. So please talk to a licensed therapist or talk to somebody, because you don't want that to happen to you. It was very embarrassing. Mental health, oh my God, it's life or death, literally, especially today. Tip number 8, do your research about what hormones is going to do to your body, to your mind. There is a laundry list of things that it's going to do, and there's a laundry list of things of how it's going to affect your overall aura. You're going to think differently. You're going to feel differently. Your skin is going to feel differently. There are so many different changes, and it's all unique to every person. Not every person goes through the exact same physical changes, the exact same mental changes, but nonetheless, you are going to go through some sort of change. So do your research. Some changes are permanent, some changes are temporary, some changes are reversible, some changes are irreversible. So do your research, know what you're getting yourself into. Transitioning physically, medically may not be for you. Step number 9, be 100% sure or not if you want to have bottom surgery. It, for the most part, is irreversible. You're pretty much going to be stuck with a certain situation down there forever. So make sure that you want to do that. It is pretty much permanent. look up side effects, look up people who have personally gone through that experience, and make a very, very educated decision on if you want to do that. It is so important. Don't just go for it. Think about it. Think on it. I've thought on it for 2 years now, and I am 100% sure that I want to have bottom surgery, and that's me personally. So you figure out what's best for you. Step number 10. When you're going through your transition, the people around you are going through a different kind of transition. They are going through a transition of learning your new name, learning your new pronouns, treating you in a little bit of a different way, according to your relationship with them. For example, my family have known me as a male for 21 years in my life. I'm 23 now, and these past 2 years have been a little confusing with them. I try to be stern when it comes to correcting them on pronouns and my name, and we are still getting somewhere with it. We're still learning. They still make mistakes every now and then, but make sure that every time they make that mistake of calling you the wrong pronoun and calling you the wrong name, that you are correcting them. Every time you correct them, they get it a little bit more and more and more. I am not pissed at my parents when it happens because, like I said, they knew me as a certain person for 21 years of my life. It's a big change. And so you just need to be stern with them, and you need to correct them every single time that they make that mistake, or else it will never change. And I wanted to add just one more rule because it's so, so important. You will get through this. No matter if you're feeling down, no matter if you're thinking negatively, being super pessimistic about your future, I promise you that in time you will get at that place that you've always wanted to be. I promise to you it will happen. If you keep going for it, keep being yourself, keep living your life authentically, it will be so worth it in time. I promise you. I promise you that. You will get through this. I'm here for you. If you ever need to talk about anything, DM me, comment on Instagram, find me somehow, message me on something, and I will try my best to help you out. I can't help every single person, but I can try. And I just really want to grind it in your head that you are going to get through this. You are. I am with you. We are with you. And always remember that if you have no one around you, you always have yourself. You always have yourself to back you up. You always have yourself to be there for you. You are always there for you, okay? When you're in the room alone, you have yourself. You have your mind. You have you. You will get through this. I promise. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, comment your thoughts. I want to know what you think about my tips and if you relate to them. Now, I have changed my upload schedule to every Friday. I did a poll on Instagram stories and I gave the two options, Tuesday and Friday, and everyone said Friday is better. I wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page as far as the future. So, videos every Friday. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ShineLove. And always remember to embrace your shine and spread that love. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah.